Welcome to DreamHack Tonight, the final episode of season one. Don't worry, we'll be back for more. Justin Burnham. And interesting thing to kind of relay to y'all is I went through a piercing phase, if you can believe that, back in the day when I was in high school. I had, I think, a total of around 15 to 20 piercings. I'm not going into where they were. Another day, another story.
That's disgusting. And I'm Alex Jebailey. Welcome to our final episode of the season. And fun fact about me, I never really used to care about sneakers up until about 3 years ago. And then I bought a pair of Adidas Ultra Boost, and now I have over 70 pairs of sneakers. Don't ask why.
That
Uh,
doesn't
but
surprise me.
yeah, well, I just like super comfortable shoes because of my ankle injury. But yeah, that's a hobby of mine.
What are you up to this week, man? What you been doing?
Played Rocket Arena actually with some friends. It was only $5. I heard about it. I was like, just another pan in the, another just throwaway arena game or whatever. And it's actually a lot of fun. But they did a major price drop on it, and it really didn't launch very well. And it's from EA. So after Apex Legends, you'd think another, a battle royale type game would be fun. And I'm just playing that nonstop with my friends and then getting excited for a huge month of entertainment in August that we're going to talk about today.
I jumped to Paper Mario. And
Oh, nice.
based on your suggestion, I mean, I'd kind of burn myself out in Ghost of Tsushima. I'll go back to it, of course, but I jumped to Paper Mario and have spent a lot of hours on that. And it makes me remember when I was a kid, way back when.
Yeah.
But I don't usually play those games a lot. But it was a good game, good suggestion. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I
And
saw him being yeah, I'm 30 hours in.
oh yeah,
Have fun.
I'm nowhere near that. Up next on news of the week, there is actually, yeah, like you said, a lot of entertainment coming up, but a lot of leaks this week on various things. One of them being Halo Infinite. Yeah, Halo Infinite was again, and it hasn't been confirmed, but it's too good of a rumor to not bring up. Is the fact that the multiplayer might go free to play, a la Warzone, and that you must love that being a Warzone player.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm hoping it's a battle royale of Halo. We saw the single player footage. It looks very fast paced compared to previous Halo games, and I think just Xbox is just trying to get all their games through Game Pass, through freebies, just into people's hands and show you that this system, you buy the system, you're going to get a lot of free content. And Halo is going to be a really big launch title for them, so why not put in as many people's hands as you can? So I'm excited though. I multiplayer has always been what Halo's about, even though the single player is an amazing thing. But if this is free to play, I think it's awesome because Warzone was free to play, but you had to buy the multiplayer bundle. So I think most people, when you get these games, you don't jump right into the single player. You usually play multiplayer
I
first.
do.
Yeah. I feel at some point after I get bored of playing with my friends, like I'm just going to try the story, see. But I haven't even beaten Warzone's single player mode yet, if that tells you anything.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a single player first guy. That's how I practice usually and get kind of the mechanics down and stuff like that. Then I jump into multiplayer. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, and next up, I'm super excited for this game. Every time they show one of their war tables where they talk about the game and show you a bunch of footage from it, is Marvel's Avengers, done by the Square team, and I am really looking forward to that one. And they announced that Hawkeye will be the first DLC character. I believe it's Hulk right now, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, and now Hawkeye and Black Widow. Sorry.
You're
So
forgetting one more.
what was the other one?
The girl, the Marvel girl, not Marvel girl.
Marvel. Yeah, not
Yeah, it is.
Captain Marvel.
Okay,
It's
yeah, yeah.
Marvel Girl. It's Marvel Girl. So which is awesome because she's a very diverse nationality character
Yep.
being brought into this world. But the game is looking incredible. Like I loved Marvel beat 'em ups that Switch. Jesus, the one that just came out for Switch, the third one.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Thank you, Ultimate Alliance.
You're welcome. I got your back, man. I got you.
Buddy, because there's so many Marvel titles now to remember, but it's looking like that turned up like to 20 in terms of graphics, and the fact that they're going to have a beta if you pre-order the game coming out August 8th makes me even more excited for it. I actually ordered the collector's edition for it because I'm a huge Marvel nut. And I just think what they're doing with this game, they're kind of keeping it to where they're going to keep adding story content to it. The co-op modes look great. Each character feels like you're actually that character. So I'm looking forward to it. Hawkeye is always an amazing guy. He actually, I think they're going to have different skins and stuff they're promoting. So Hawkeye, the initial picture they brought of him, he's bald.
Yeah,
He's got a shaved
right.
head. So
Yeah, I mean, it's actually quite beefy. They're going to actually have a storyline. I think that's actually cool. It's not just a skin. They're throwing Hawkeye in there. They're actually having storylines on the characters they bring in. So Hawkeye will have his own missions and stuff like that. And then I'm hoping for a Doctor Strange, Black Panther as the next one of the next characters they bring in. That would be super fun.
it seems
Um,
like they're going to be doing tons of DLC characters
yeah,
and stuff. So looking
yeah,
forward
yeah.
to it.
Moving on to one of my favorite series, Resident Evil had a leak too, and this was based on, I guess, some closed testing that went on, and it's super, super interesting because I don't know if you saw Resident Evil 8, the trailer, the debut. I
Yeah.
mean, it was already interesting enough to where, oh my god, werewolves? Well, it's like, oh, that's never happened in any Resident Evil game. So that always kind of was already intriguing. But now they're talking about different things, like they talked about one of the boss fights where there's this lady that turns into the spider character after you get the health down a little bit, which seems really, really cool and intricate. And then they're talking about inventory system, kind of similar to the remakes. And what the biggest thing I think, if I recall, and I've played almost every Resident Evil, I don't recall there ever being a melee system. And now that's actually supposedly going to be introduced with like axes and stuff like that. So that'll be interesting from a first person perspective because first person melee is not easy.
I still can't get over when they first premiered it and the village, the ILL turned into the 8 and ended that trailer, which was pretty cool. But you know, the remakes were amazing remakes, kind of reinvented the wheel for them. Resident Evil 4 was the first game to kind of change the control system from the tank controls from the originals. And now they've taken everything they learned from these amazing remakes and turning into a brand new story that I think is going to be awesome. Then hopefully it has. They've had some really good over the years multiplayer modes like Revelations and stuff, and so I hope that they do something with 8.
Yeah,
And
yeah, the Umbrella Chronicles, if that was the one, that didn't have such good multiplayer. I think that was that was the one that was not so good at all.
yeah. And then next up, Splinter Cell is making a comeback in the form of an anime. If you played with Sam in the Splinter Cell games, he was kind of like the other version of Solid Snake and Metal Gear series. A little bit more espionage in it, but I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be great. They're actually using John Wick's screenwriter to write the story for it. Haven't said really when it comes out, probably down the road, but I think it's going to be a great thing. And it's just awesome that all these games are getting their own shows, their movies, the animes, just to show you how big of an impact that gaming is making. But this is the first mention of Splinter Cell in years.
Yeah, and Netflix is really pushing their anime stuff for sure. I mean, with Castlevania and Splinter Cell. I hope this leads to a Splinter Cell game because that's what a lot of everyone that's what pretty much everyone's waiting for. It's like, okay, Fable, Splinter Cell, it's like these properties that are really highly anticipated. It's about damn time Sam Fisher comes back.
Oh yeah.
And here's a fun fact for you. The John Wick screenwriter is also attached to Just Cause movie. There's a little side fact. Just
Ooh,
Cause, the
nice.
franchise. Yeah.
Yep.
Moving on to what I think is actually super interesting news, and probably the biggest news of the week, even more so than what we already talked about, is finally an NFL license is free for anyone to grab. It's been 15 years since EA locked that up tight, and it was only Madden. Now NFL 2K with their 2K with their properties such as NBA, NHL, stuff like that, they're snagging the football rights. I mean, I don't think it's exclusive, but they're now jumping in the football game finally, which I think is great.
Yeah, I mean the originals. I remember when Dreamcast came out, and I played the first thing was NFL 2K90, or it was 99. NFL 99 was one of the first ones that 2K had made, and it was incredible. It's like finally Madden had some competition, and then for them to get a 15-year exclusive license, and then we all forgot about it until it just ended.
Right.
I think it's great. It breeds competition. Like the Madden games, I actually know I have a friend who used to work on some of the game design for it, and just the innovations that they would come out with were awesome for the game itself. But now this is kind of like be a huge competition. If you I don't know if you remember NBA Live, they've kind of canned it a couple
Yeah.
years because it couldn't keep up with the 2K basketball series. And now that this is back, it kind of changes the game. So I'm excited for it. You know, it's football, right? You're gonna play with the same characters or the same teams, the same players and all that. But having two different kinds of the games is gonna show you stuff that they're gonna kind of create. And I think it's awesome that we're back to this. And then hopefully by next year we'll have one of the first 2K games in 15 years.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think competition is healthy, so I'm glad the license is going to someone else to compete.
Oh yeah.
Back to the point of what you were saying earlier of a busy entertainment in August. Up next on Indie Heartbeat, we're going to show you just how busy it can be with a lot of the. I mean, this is our opinion, Jebailey and I's opinion. So these are our hyped up August indie releases that we want to talk about and kind of highlight that you definitely should be saving your money to buy these.
Yeah.
So first up is No Straight Roads. No Straight Roads is fantastic. It's very, very dream hacky with video games meets music and stuff like that. But there's rock, there's EDM, the rock band, and you're fighting this EDM empire, and you can play solo or co-op, and there's easy elements of like Psychonauts weirdness, Jet Set Radio's kind of art style, and Brutal Legend, a game you and I both love.
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at this and don't think Brutal Legend elements, you're crazy.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of No More Heroes a little bit too in the
Yeah.
art style. But when I first saw this trailer this week after you mentioned it to me, I'm like, this doesn't look like an indie game. This looks amazing. So, especially because it is true, over the last like 10-15 years, rock music hasn't been as big of a deal as EDM music, hip hop, and all that. So the storyline to this, I think, is very entertaining, and just the quality. Like I said, this does not look like an indie to me. And now this is on our radar. Like, I'm excited to actually play this because Brutal Legend was a lot of fun having Jack Black. I'm not sure if they have any huge voices in this, but this came out of nowhere, and I think it's gonna be one of the most talked about games this month.
They have some super cool musicians in it, but I don't know of any voices. And since we won't be getting a Brutal Legend 2 anytime soon, it seems this will probably maybe fill that void.
Yep. And then next up, our next indie game to talk about is going to be, and I'm also excited for this one, Kill It With Fire. We were joking about this earlier, but Kill It With Fire kind of reminds me of Grounded that we just started playing on Xbox. But this is basically tons of weapons. You're fighting off, spiders and insects within a house. So I'm kind of looking forward to this one to have fun with and just enjoy. But it's got like that realistic, as you can see in the video, the fire and trying to get rid of everything in the house that is, probably you're swallowing in your sleep. They always say you swallow like 5 spiders in a lifetime, but this looks like fun.
I think it's 3 to 4 spiders a year. I don't think it's a lifetime, but regardless, I mean, that's a scary thought. But yeah, this is supposed to be those comedy streamer games, right? It found its own. Tiny Build is the publisher, which makes sense. Tiny Build, has Hello Neighbor and Cluster Truck and a lot of those comedy streamer games. Kill It With Fire looks funny as hell. I mean, basically, you're destroying your house as you're trying to kill all these damn spiders. And me as arachnophobic thinks I can really, really kind of resonate with this game. Absolutely. But there's some funny ass moments in this game that I think it'll do well on streams. But next up on our list is Pop-Up Dungeon. Pop-Up Dungeon is super, super up my alley. It's a roguelike, it's an RPG, it's dungeon crawling, there's multiple game modes, endless content. There's so much here. There's even like game creation elements to where you can kind of tie all these different things and kind of create your own element of a game. I love what this game is. I mean, I love a lot of the genres like this actually encapsulates for me, like roguelike and RPG. I think the artwork is super, super cool. It's done by a fantastic publisher too, Humble Bundle team. And we've actually featured this at DreamHack a few times. We have our indie area at DreamHack, and this was selected for DreamHack Dallas as a game we all loved. And we brought that game to DreamHack Dallas last year.
Yeah, and there's no shortage of tactics like games, but the fact that you can kind of create your own weapons, you can get very creative with it. It's not just a set defeat these guys on the other side. So it looks like a lot of fun that I actually want to play against you. We might have another. I actually remember checking out at DreamHack Dallas. Might have another game where the playing field is a little level, Justin.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to beat me at something besides a fighting game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And next up, I'm actually looking forward to this one. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout is coming out this month, actually in a couple days. And it's basically a massive online just battle royale with very cutesy figures. And it looks like, you have obstacle courses to go through and survive through everybody else. So this kind of reminds me of Tetris 99, but as a platformer. And the fact that it just has so many things going on reminds me a little bit of Gang Beasts, except a lot more fleshed out graphically. And it looks like solid gameplay mechanics and movement. And I'm actually looking forward to this because these are the kind of games that anybody can pick up and have fun.
Right.
And then you get to talk so much trash if you actually beat your friends. So I think this is going to go great. I think it's up to 100 players at any time.
60.
60. Okay, 60. So I just think it's a lot of fun. And the fact that every level is different and the obstacles, I think it's going to be a game that a lot of people are talking about and streaming and people getting so excited to, finish in the top. Hopefully one.
Yeah, it's a super interesting take, for sure. And I mean, leave it to Devolver to kind of think outside the box for some of these various games that they actually choose to work on and work with. It's combining the party genre with esports battle royale genre, right? It's kind of like it'll be interesting to see because usually when you combine things, you either bring crowds together or make them separate. So it'll be interesting to see how popular this is, but it looks fun as hell, and I really hope it does well. Up next, and our final game on the list, kind of final on purpose, because I know we both played the hell out of the first one of this, is Rogue Legacy 2. I mean, this is right up my alley again, RPG elements, roguelike, Metroidvania elements, which I know you love too. I mean, the first one took so many hours of my life because it was just hard as hell. And that was the point. You're supposed to just die and repeat. And Rogue Legacy 2 is probably one of my most anticipated indies of the year and probably easy in my top 5, top 10. and the graphics are improved. Everything is just improved all the way around. They didn't change much because if it isn't broke, don't fix it. In terms of game mechanics, but they just upped everything, and I think
Yep.
that's great. I'm super excited for this one.
And recently we talked about not a lot of indies get sequels, so this is probably going to be one of those bigger top 10 sequels that everybody remembers. And the first one was a lot of fun. Any kind of Metroidvania game, it always comes down, it's like you kind of get involved with the story, but then it's the discovery of it and just running around and going different paths and all that. But this looks very fast paced again. The movement, the mechanics, the arrow, the all the different weapons you have, and then of course everyone loves a medieval type story. So I think Rogue Legacy 2 will probably be one of the most popular indies this month.
Yeah, absolutely. And that ends our picks for indies. And again, those are just our picks, and we'll probably buy more than that, but those are the 5 that jumped out at us. Bringing more entertainment to you. Let's go to real time. Up next on real time, we're going into more things you should be doing and over the summer, because we covered what's coming out in August, but let's cover what just came out the other day. Host is an exclusive horror movie on Shudder that just came out 3 days ago on July 30th. It's based on a Zoom-based feel, which is going to hit a home with a lot of us right now, and it looks absolutely creepy as hell. Here's a trailer for this.
Caroline, take us up. Go on, Caroline. It's okay. What is on? No. Nope. What are you doing, Caroline? Caroline, what are you doing? It's gonna be fine. Go on, Caroline. It's okay. It's okay, we're here. Tell me what you say. Nothing, it's just boxes. Things there, it's fine. Caroline, go back. Caroline. What the fuck was that? What is that? I can see it. Caroline, come down. Caroline. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. What was it? What was that? I definitely was just so scared. You have to go silent. Go silent. Just calm down. Calm down. We're gonna go. Calm. It's like a person.
I'm sure that's going to cause a lot of paranoia while we're all quarantined
Why
at
does
night.
she go up there? Don't go up the attic. Just close it.
Let's bring in director Rob Savage, director and award-winning filmmaker from The Host. Hey, Rob, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
I appreciate your time. I know you're probably super slammed with this being the launch weekend of the film, so I'm sure you're in interview after interview, promo after promo. But we'll try to make this quick and easy for you. I definitely appreciate the time.
No, it's great. It's really nice having it finally. I mean, we've been working on this solidly for about 12 weeks. It's been 12 weeks since we had the first idea to do a movie on Zoom, and now suddenly it's out on Shudder and everyone can see it. So it's all a bit surreal.
Wow, 12 weeks. Well, that's actually really
Yeah.
cool because, geez, sometimes 12 weeks is definitely not long enough, especially with the restrictions you actually have today. So tell us about the movie. What's it all about? Obviously, it's based off of that Zoom kind of concept and how you can tell us a horror story through that. But, give us, what is it? What is it? Why should everyone be excited?
So it's a group of friends who, like all of us, they've been hanging out on Zoom. They've been doing Zoom happy hours. They've been playing board games, doing Netflix watch parties, and they're a little bit bored of it. So they try and do something a bit different, and they hire a medium to come onto their call and host a kind of online seance for them, where they try and contact dead spirits. And of course, it goes about as well as you'd expect. And they unleash something which starts to jump house to house through the connection that they've made and pick them off one by one. So it's a movie that we shot during lockdown. None of us left our homes. I directed the whole thing remotely. All the actors filmed independently. They were basically their own one-person film productions, and we turned this film around in almost no time at all, just so we could get it out while we're all still living this reality, so it could still be relevant. And it's on Shudder today, so we're all really excited.
That's awesome. And so the idea behind the film is obviously everyone's stuck at home. You came up with that idea, and not many people are filming anything at all. So for you to be able to be like, all right, we're going to be one of the first ones to come out with something with what everyone's using and stuff. What kind of motivated you guys to do that? And Zoom obviously is the most popular one everyone talks about. I'm not sure if you know how expensive webcams are now. Does the movie kind of like talk about like how hard it is to be a part of this culture now and expensive?
Yeah, it's we really wanted to make it a movie that was set in our current reality, but not necessarily all about the pandemic. So it is, like you say, it's all about the frustrations of having to collect online, not be able to see people face to face, about the kind of people going slightly stir crazy over the course of lockdown. And the reason we made it really was because I'm pretty boring, and all of my friends actually work in the they're all work friends, and we were hanging out, and we realized that we had everyone on our Zoom call. It was a whole film crew. We could have every department was covered. And there'd been a lot of talk at the start of lockdown about, oh, well, somebody's going to make a film all set on Zoom. We're just waiting for that film set on Zoom. And then we're a couple of months into lockdown and nobody had done it. So one night we were all just, we had a few too many beers on Zoom, and we were like, why don't we just do it? And we didn't quite know what we were getting ourselves in for because nobody had done it before. But we called Shudder up, and Shudder were really into the idea. And Shudder, we only had a sentence. We had, it's a bunch of friends who do a Zoom seance, and they trusted us, and they went all in, and we didn't make it up as we went along, but we figured it out as we went along because there was no kind of roadmap for it.
Right. And that was actually my next question. Like, was Shudder involved from the beginning, which sounds like it is? And not many people like know that Shudder exists because it's basically the home for horror movies of all kinds and stuff. Was like Netflix or any of those other channels kind of on it, or just Shudder from the beginning goes, this has to be where it goes? Thank you.
I don't want to I don't want to say specifics, but we had a big bidding war on this project. Lots of people wanted to get on board because this was at the height of the pandemic, and we're still in the pandemic, but this was this looked like one of the only projects that could be filmed. So everyone was jumping at the chance to do it. The problem was everyone had a very old-fashioned idea about how we would do it. We were talking to places, and they were saying, "Oh, this is great. We'll have it out in 6 months." That was their idea of a fast turnaround, and we were like, "No. This needs to be out. This needs to be out in 2 months." Or else it's not going to be relevant. It's going to be a historical piece. We're all going to be back out in the world, or potentially. And Shudder absolutely got on board with that. Shudder, they didn't try and impose any kind of framework on us. They said, you figure it out. Keep us posted, and we're just excited to see it at the end. And we knew as well that we wanted to make a horror film for horror fans. We're big horror fans, and Shudder is just the most direct way to get it to them. And everyone's sitting indoors subscribing to more streamers, and I think hopefully through all this, Shudder's got a big boost, and hopefully we'll get more eyeballs on it.
Yeah, I'm actually a big horror nut. I'm a big fan of Shudder, so I love their stuff, and so this is a perfect fit. I'll definitely agree with you there. And before I jumped to the game industry, personally, I've seen a lot of film sets, early days, and I saw some big ones, I saw some small ones. So your production turnaround and everything within 12 weeks, that's impressive, especially with the restrictions of today. How difficult, or maybe not so difficult for you, depending on how well you adapted to it yourself, how difficult was to direct all the moving pieces through the quarantine restrictions of, like you said, everyone's still stuck at their home. You have anything from the lighting to the cast wrangling to the time zones. I mean, that probably wasn't easy, especially in 12 weeks.
No, it was the thing that scared me the most about going into it, because normally I'm quite a hands-on director. I like to be quite a control freak. and all of my usual crutches that I would kind of lean on during a film production, I didn't have. But in the end, that was what was most fun about it. That was what was most freeing. You know, we didn't have a script. We had an outline. We had 10 pages written out with all the beats laid out. But, excuse me, every day we'd log on and it would be me and it would be the actors. We'd have a couple of sentences to describe what we were doing that day, and that was it. And we basically had to build the film up moment by moment, and we had to rehearse it, and we had to figure out exactly what would play and what would feel authentic. And it was really, you know, it's always scary to start a day not knowing exactly what you're going to shoot, but also it's really freeing. And I think all of the moments that I really love and I think people have responded to that feel natural, they came from us just playing around with the scene on the day, stuff that the actors came up with, stuff that we came up with in the moment. And it was really, you know, I'm going to take a lot of that on, you know, when the world finally goes back to normal, if it does, I'm going to take a lot of that onto the next film shoot, because I think it's a great thing to be that spontaneous.
No, I agree 100%. Sometimes the best art and storytelling comes from that kind of spontaneity. So you're no stranger to horror stuff, you know, films with your shorts. I've seen a few of your shorts, Dawn of the Deaf, Sit in Silence, Salt. And so you know that space well. So you with Shutter and the film kind of all make a very good, perfect, trilogy, if you will, you know, the three of you. So what did you take that you learned from those shorts and the horror storytelling that you did that you brought to the host? You know, like what kind of aura and vibe did you bring learning all those things that you did? Because Dawn of the Deaf was fantastic. Sit in Silence, Salt. You have some good stuff, man. You really do. So what did you take from those to bring to the host?
Well, I think the main thing that I took from the short films is that spending time with your characters is never wasted time. If you get the audience to invest in your characters, when you finally start to bring the scares and start to put them through the set pieces, they're going to care much more. Those set pieces are going to be inherently more scary if you care about your characters. So a big thing for us on Host was just spending time with those guys a little bit at the beginning, making them feel like they're your friends, like you've just dropped into a Zoom call where some friends are hanging out. I think that was a big one that really paid out. So they're not just faceless victims when they're getting killed. And then, you know, another one is just, you know, we were lucky enough with Salt and Dawn of the Deaf, particularly, to have a really big festival run. You know, Dawn of the Deaf played at over 200 festivals all around the world, and we traveled around with it and were able to watch it in a cinema with an audience. And it's amazing how you can feel where an audience's attention is. You can feel when they're preparing themselves for a jump. You can feel when they're not expecting something, and it's just there's nothing more instructive than watching somebody watch a horror movie, because you can see when they're second guessing it. You can see when they're kind of expecting you to do something obvious or cliched, and then if you do something a bit different, if you sideswipe them, you can really get a great reaction. And it's my favorite part of making horror films. Is it's like a magic trick. You've got to direct their attention somewhere else, and then you come up at them, you know, from another angle. It's really fun.
That's awesome. So before my next question, actually about Dawn of the Deaf, so extra question. I was watching it and I noticed when the two girls were right in front of the subway and the camera would pan around them, it would cut off the subtitles. That was obviously on purpose, right? To show that if you're not there face to face, you don't know what they're saying, which I thought was a really nice touch to that part.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just trying to get, like, horror is all about trying to put you in someone else's perspective, like put you in someone else's shoes. And that's just a really extreme example. You know, I've got deaf friends, and it's, I'll be talking to them and they'll be reading my lips, and I'll brush my face like that, and I'll realize, oh, they can't see my lips, so I've muted myself. And it's you know, that was our attempt basically to get a hearing audience to understand what it's like to communicate in a visual language.
Well, I noticed it right away. I'm like, this is not bad subtitling. This is on purpose. But so besides your films, tell me like 2 or 3 of your favorite all-time horror films that kind of inspired you to do what you did. And then maybe one film that you think nobody's watched in horror that they should.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'd say my favorite movie of all time, my favorite horror movie, is Evil Dead 2.
Nice.
Because it's fun, it's fast, it's 80 minutes, it's so inventive. I think the filmmaking is just, I think Sam Raimi is a genius. I think another movie that we really love is a film called Wreck, a Spanish found footage horror movie, which is just has probably the most terrifying final 10 minutes of any movie. So you should definitely all check that out. It got remade in the US as Quarantine, but which was fine, but it wasn't as good. And then the movie that I think everyone should check out, there's a movie from the 60s called The Innocents, which is it's based on Turn of the Screw, the Henry James book. It's a haunted house movie, and it's it's an old movie. It's black and white, and the thing is, you're going to go in watching it, and you're going to think it's black and white, it's old, it's going to be slow, it's going to be boring, it's not going to be scary. It's the fucking scariest movie you'll ever see. Such a it feels totally modern. It's really like there's just so much going on that's relevant to conversations that are happening now. Yeah, that's one of my all-time favorites.
I'll check that one out. That's actually I mean, I was actually wondering if you were gonna name a horror movie I haven't seen yet, and you did, because I have not seen that one. Evil Dead series I love, and Rec, I will back you up on that one. That series, and I've seen the original. I saw Quarantine too, but you're right, the originals are way better. But yeah, so Rec was phenomenal. I mean, it's just the end and the whole movie kept you in your seat for sure, or jumping out of it, I should say. Um,
Yeah.
so what's next for Rob Savage? I mean, it's like you have Host now that's out. You're gonna obviously do a lot of post rap in terms of promotion, all those kind of things. You're obviously a very talented filmmaker, in this horror space. So with your shorts to host now. So what's next for you? I mean, maybe a full length Dawn of the Deaf, or I saw something on I saw an article the other day, maybe a collaboration with you and Sam Raimi. I mean, so where are you heading now?
Yeah, we've got a few things in the mix. Like, I'm really excited about the one we're doing with Sam. Like I said, he's just a big hero of mine, and it's an idea that I'm really excited about. We're doing a Dawn of Death movie as well. We've got
Great.
a feature version of Salt is on the way, and there's a couple of other ones that we're just scripting at the moment that are set up, and it all depends on the state of the world. It all depends when
Right.
film go back, and luckily, because they're horror movies, they're quite contained. So there's maybe a way of getting one of those made next year under kind of COVID restrictions. But honestly, if not, if we go into a second wave, if this carries on, I'd love to make another movie, another found footage movie like Host. I think there's lots you can do in that medium. Probably wouldn't be a Zoom movie. We'd probably find some other way to come at it. But I think if it's done well, it can be really scary. I'm a big found footage guy.
I would call the sequel Return of Skype or something.
Well, Rob, man, thanks again for the time. Movie is Host. It came out on Shudder exclusively the other day. Go see it. It looks phenomenal. I'm actually going to watch it myself this weekend. And again, Rob, can't thank you enough. All the best of luck with the movie and future projects. Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much, guys.
Up next, Versus. This is where we go into everything competitive in the nature of gaming, or just stuff that Alex and I can fight about, because I'm usually better at most things than he is. So it's a good segment to get this all out, right?
Some things.
Let's bring in our competitive correspondent to assist us with our growing beef, JV. Hey, JV, man, what's up? Welcome to the show.
Not much, man. I will say, between the time that we all last spoke and now, I'm feeling 10,000% better, which is good. Which is good.
Good.
Definitely thought I was on the verge of death whenever we were recording previously. But it seems like a good day of rest is all I really needed to get back to my normal self.
Well, even a
So-
dead man could see Justin get destroyed, but yeah, keep going.
So to recap, give the watchers some background information to that. We recorded an episode earlier in the week of Alex and I going at it in a game coming out called Grief Helm. JV brought his skills to cast us, and he's a great caster, but he looked terrible. He looked like he was on the verge of death.
Yeah,
You know,
honestly, my physical appearance that day was worse than y'all's gameplay, which is saying a lot, to be
It is.
honest.
Hey,
It
hey,
is,
I
because
did you a
usually you're already
favor,
ugly
Noel.
enough.
I knew how sick you were, and I made you a promise that I would make this quick and easy, and I did.
So it was kind of served as like, okay, we need a tiebreaker, and with Grief Helm, a fantastic looking game coming out next month on the whole August releases kind of conversation. We needed a tiebreaker. I won a high versus low on fighting game stats and stuff like that, in which Alex should absolutely be friggin' embarrassed about. And then Alex last week won a Real Talk on Film conversations based off of quotes. So was our tiebreaker, which Grief Helm, if you don't know it, is a fantastic competitive game. 2 to 4 players. Physics are fantastic and funny, super, super funny. It's like Nidhogg meets For Honor, and it comes out, I think, in about 3 or 4 weeks, mid-August. Let's roll that video.
You know how to play this,
Oh my
right? The
God,
motions.
dude. I forgot so how to play.
All right, so it's
I don't
it's a
trust
lot
you. You
like
might be.
Nidhogg. Like you were mentioning before, Jebailey. The main difference, I think, is simply from a pacing perspective. This game gives you a lot more defensive options.
Oh my God!
Overall.
Now you switch stance and
Jesus, dude.
okay. Why, dude? You've got a longer weapon than me.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, I know. That's what she said.
Jebailey, aren't you a fighting
Oh
game
shit,
player? You don't know anything
dude!
about pacing?
Nobody's picked a spear before.
Dude! Counter,
Dude!
bro!
Jesus,
Come
dude.
on!
Oh my, come on, dude! It's almost not even fair.
What do you mean?
horrible.
He just
What are you
did
doing?
Being a dick.
Damn it. Damn it.
Three
Okay.
high attacks in a
Get
row,
back!
and
Hey, look,
that's
there's
that
Captain
all.
Jack Sparrow.
Come on.
Oh, what happened? Oh, that was back of the head.
That
Yeah.
was good. That was good.
Got
I'll
him.
give you that.
Dude, I've never seen a one-hitter.
Hey, good. Incorporating the jumps a bit to get around the spear. That's,
Justin, pick
pretty
your head
common.
up, man.
You
Jesus,
have
why?
The arc as much.
Oh, yeah, take it.
Oh, man, you're coming back. Okay. All right. Now this is getting... All right. I'm done. I'm done.
It's it's fighting games
Wait,
101,
here goes
right?
through you?
Yo, that first round was just data, man.
Mason
That's
balls.
what it was.
Download complete. JV knows that
Yeah.
term well.
Oh yes, yes we do. All right, Burnham, we got the spear.
You know, though, the spear is powerful, but it's slow, dude. So when
I didn't
that thing
realize.
comes
Yeah,
back-
we'll switch weapons up. Give you a chance.
No, all good, all good.
If I knew how to throw my weapon away and beat you bare-handed, I would.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay. So Burnham did like one of the interesting mechanics in this game. It's the push mechanic. So when you get
Shit.
close to somebody, you can actually do a push, a little shove.
Oh my
If you're
God.
quick with it, you can input another command.
Just like how he
afterwards, but-
pushed his body into my mace.
Yeah. Close
Oh
enough, I
shit.
guess.
Okay.
Yes, I kneecapped you.
Yeah.
Watch this.
I
He's
love
not.
that
He's
he
not
died
ready for
from,
this
like,
advanced
from
tech.
getting
I'm
kneecapped.
going.
Shit. Does that work?
Dude,
Shit.
it works.
That's
No
cheating.
way.
That's
Dude,
all you gotta do in Nidhogg, baby. I'm
just
out.
run.
Why can't he catch up? Okay. I did not realize that was a thing. Come on, dude.
I don't need to fight you. I just need to go to the other side.
Why
That's
can't
all.
I catch up?
Turn around. What are you doing, man? You don't. No, seriously, Jebailey, just turn around. You'll never catch up to him. You'll never catch up to
Oh,
him.
it won't let him go. Oh.
You don't have to go. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's just like Nidhogg. You know this. Burnham stick with the tried and true mid post.
Oh, dude, I wasted all that time when I could have just taken him out.
Yeah, you really could have. You played yourself.
Eat it.
Oh, damn it.
Oh.
Where'd you go? Uppercut.
I promised
Dude,
you
I
the
took
counter
us-
mechanic.
I took us so far.
Tifa,
It
no,
doesn't
not
matter.
now.
It really
I'm
doesn't
beating
matter.
Justin's ass.
Yo, what
Get
is
your
this
stick out of my
neutral?
face!
What is this neutral? Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, right in the face. So you would think a game like this doesn't have a lot of death, but sometimes you don't need it, man. You just want to have fun, and honestly, this is not bad at all.
Yeah, no, and I'm telling you, it actually has like there's an intricate amount of gameplay.
Oh, you know, I ain't falling for that shit again.
Yo, Burnham's going the full pacifist route. He's just like, I'm not even gonna play. I'm just running straight past you.
It's just like we're at a live event. Justin's like, hey, and just runs right past you.
No, it's
Hey,
very
man,
simple.
the goal is to make
Jebailey-
it to the other side.
Exactly, yo. This is Jebailey versus Burnham in a nutshell, right? Jebailey's all about playing for the KD, and Burnham's playing for the objective, baby. That's all it is.
Get away from me! I was gonna go for the head every time. Out of the
Your
way.
weapon is so brutal.
You know what?
man.
We thought these would be
bad.
short matches, but holy shit.
Yeah, I'm
Eat it.
telling you,
Oh,
what am I
Jesus.
doing?
I really
Your
wish you
weapon
could
is
steal your
so
opponent's
brutal.
weapon.
Oh, yo, I love that. Yo, Burnham, that was actually super smart. So he notices that Jebailey's playing really aggressively, just kind of holding forward, so he takes a step back and then stabs him with the spear.
I like the ragdoll mechanics.
That was good.
I did just take a spear to the knee, though.
Oh, whoa.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Give him a little stabby stab.
Are you waiting to
Oh.
swing? Oh,
I
take
was
that in the
actually
shin.
block mode. I was trying to be in block mode.
Overhead.
Jesus.
Nice.
Dude, one hit from you. I mean, it's just like brutal.
Dude, if you had a ball with spikes on it getting swung at you from my massive half your size arms, you'd die instantly too.
Holy God.
Dude, this is actually going longer than I expected. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
I
my
got. Let's go, Blue
Lord.
Knight.
There you go. There you go. Could be actually near the end.
All I know is if this was medieval times, you would not be getting a tip from your section, Justin.
Dude, I
That was a good one, right, JV? That was a good one.
That was a good one. That was a good one. That was
I
a
will
good one.
say, my spear has gone through you a couple times.
Yeah.
Final match. Final match. Burnham's got to clutch up right here.
He's not going. Spoiler alert, he won't.
He could. He could. He did not. He did not.
Dude, I think the Mesa Ball is the best weapon. Okay.
There was a second in the match where I thought he was adapting when he did that little stutter step backwards into the stab. I thought that was like super smart. And then he was like, I am never doing this again because it worked too well the first time.
So maybe
Very
lowering the
smart.
damage. Hell, what the hell is that thing? Is that the wicker?
But it's like first to 3, so
Oh,
You know
shit.
what
let's go.
You know what I
bro.
also realized I was doing? I keep forgetting to point in the direction when I hit the R trigger button.
Yeah, that's the most important
That's
thing.
how
is
you
do
aim.
that.
That's why I keep doing
No,
the
I know
overhead.
that, but I was just like, why am I not swinging?
Hey, what are you gonna do? High, mid, low, high, mid, low. Oh, shit.
What?
Shit!
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Oh!
Yo, Jebailey, why did you have a follow up there? You know this.
I
dude,
tried,
there
I
was a
tried.
window there that you didn't take advantage of.
After the push, it's a true combo, you nerd.
What?
It's my weapon. It's too small.
That's what I've heard that.
Oh, come on!
Yo,
right, I'm
Ricky,
switching
Burnham
weapons.
actually won?
Is that
that's
Robert
what happened.
Baratheon?
As soon as he said,
What the hell?
as soon as he said, "Oh, my weapon's too small," you know, that kind of was like, "Yep."
Okay, so it's actually 1-1. I didn't even expect Burnham to do better at the non-objective oriented game.
Did you get me?
Uh,
Oh, shit.
I mean,
About
same can
time.
be said, I guess, for you.
Hey, I'm back.
My God.
Oh, look at that. It's actually storming outside. It's getting desolate in real life, too. I'm just going to parry you. Come on. Quit trying to hit me and hit me.
Hit him with the Matrix, nice. Oh, yeah, that's how you do it. Burnham, I'm serious. Right after you
Look at that parry.
right
So that's a...
bumper-
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so right after you... That's what I was talking about with the shove. After you hit right bumper, hit in with any of your attacks, and it's like a true combo.
Oh, off with his head.
Dude.
But it's a cool game because it gives anybody like a good shot at beating each other. I would love to see like hazards, like arrows being shot in and stuff. Oh,
Dude,
look
you
at
know
that.
you know why I kept pushing him, JV? I just realized, man, I was actually pushing them, like you said, but it was an accident because I kept trying to block like Dark Souls.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. But this is the thing. After you push, literally push forward on the stick
Shit.
and R, and you'll be able to do a really quick combo.
See,
Where do you
our
think you're
bumper-
going?
The right bumper is this. Oh, never mind.
And you can lower the damage in options, so it'll take like maybe 4 or 5 hits to kill, but where's the fun in that?
Yeah, you gotta get that one-hit kill. Am I allowed to play whoever wins this, by the way?
Dude,
Is that a thing that I can
yeah,
do?
man.
Do you have Steam?
I am out of my comfort
Oh yeah,
zone.
you got it too.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You gotta do a Braveheart yell as you run in. But you wouldn't know anything about Braveheart. You couldn't even get that quote right last week.
Yeah.
All right. Damn it.
Not this, Burnham.
Oh, hey, who's the
Play
fiery
smart.
guy?
Play smart, Burnham. Just, use your space effectively.
Come here,
Try to
buddy.
bait him into
Come here, I'll
his
give you a
turret,
chance.
And then counter hit. You
Dude,
got
I don't
this.
have the patience to sit there and block.
Well,
Whenever you're ready.
Move.
I'm
Schmove.
jumping over.
No, don't do that.
Shit.
Oh, yo, hold up. He swung. Yo, Burnham.
I feel like you're going faster in fire mode. Oh, okay. No matter what, I thought you would get a comeback.
So I didn't realize that when you hit last chance, that
I thought you came out of it.
Yeah, I thought you get like a second win, but
I
no,
thought so too, but
That's kind of what I was hoping, but apparently not.
I don't think it wanted to embarrass him.
Son of a bitch, I gotta win this.
Ooh, let's go in the
Because
crypts. Might as well take you here because you're gonna die anyways.
I'm expected to lose, so I need to win.
Burnham, how are you feeling right now, man? What's going through your mind?
Honestly, dude, I won one round, so I'm good with that.
Yeah. He gets a participation
dark.
award.
This is a really, really dark level.
Oh,
Because
I-
you
I
can
like how
never
the colors
see
stand
me
out, though.
coming. That's why. No, no.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
Nothing.
There's no bed here, creeper.
Oh my god, you're running so fast. Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Dude, that's a
like
good
that.
weapon, man. 2 easy swings. I can't do anything about it.
How you like me now? Oh, Jesus Christ, you attacked me.
Oh,
my
yeah.
Lord. Was there like a hustle button? That was like a quick. that
No.
was like a-
Oh, yeah, there's a turbo button. If you hold it, I'm joking.
I thought there was like a
Come on,
sprint button.
Burnham.
Dude, your reach is sick.
Thank you.
Yo, you're in there. You're in there. Hit the follow-up.
Yes!
Damn it.
Mmm.
All right, I concede.
It's okay, Jebailey.
Good.
It's okay.
Oh my god, I'm still the best at fighting games.
Hold
Mm.
on. Hold
But
on, Burnham.
you did lose one round to a non-fighting game player. That's enough for me.
I'll give you that.
All right, that was me getting, and I'll be honest, my ass kicked. I don't really have much more to say to that. I feel super embarrassed. That did not show my skills.
You know,
don't
don't
deserve to
sell
hold the
yourself
sword.
short. I thought you were good at playing the objective a couple of times. Like that sequence of Jebailey chasing you like a
And
dog.
not knowing that was hilarious. I'll give him credit for that one.
And then even at the very end, like we did like horde mode just for fun where they teamed up and Burnham actually carried. Jebailey dies in the first wave and Burnham has to go through like 3 more waves by himself and somehow survive. It's pretty
I
cool.
was protecting him. I took a sword for him.
You were
Yeah,
protecting him
what that
what,
was?
corporeally for the rest of the waves, my dude? Come on.
Yeah, I am better. You're right. I am better at objective-based stuff. It's like kind of like with the first match we were playing. It was like, okay, I know I need to get to the end, and like Nidhogg, you just jump over him a lot of times. You know what I mean? I'm gonna run to the end. And I tried it, but Alex eventually caught on, thanks to you giving them the hint that he can run to the other side of the screen. Otherwise, I would have won every time.
It's
forgot.
true. You could have. I should have, I guess,
run
just
away.
been
You're
quiet.
like a man, Justin.
It was hilarious.
Insult my manhood, Jebailey.
Yeah, in a video game, yes. I already know. You freaking warm up at a 315 bench. I'm never insulting your real manhood.
Hey, all right, I'm gonna say it one last time. 335.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But,
I'm glad
but
you're-
it's nothing compared to JV. JV warms up at 365. JV, how you doing there, Tiger?
Yeah, I used to be 365
Milligram.
pre-COVIDs for sure. That was very
But-
very clear. I know
but
some of
they-
these words.
But thanks again. I mean, honestly, you know, you win. You win. You are the winner, Jebailey, this season. You
Was
won
it
2-1.
Yeah.
We'll have to revisit what I can kick your ass out next season. I don't take losing very lightly. I'm very competitive. JV, you know, you've been a champion, and it seems like you were a little on my side during that video, so I appreciate the love.
That couldn't even help you.
Yeah, what can I say? I always root for the underdog, and
Shit.
you were the underdog of underdogs. My God, it was. Ugh.
Okay, well, now
Ugh.
you know what? I gave you love, and you ruined it and insulted my
Bad.
game
It was
skills,
like
so,
watching
you know
my
what?
dad try to play a first-person shooter.
All right, done. All right, we're done. Let's kick his ass off at the end of the season. Let's kick his ass
Bye.
off and jump to something more important, such as Audio.file. Get rid of JV. All right, good. Audio.file. My God, that guy. You know. Up next in Audio.file, we have something interesting for you guys. We have Falling in Reverse, Ronnie Radke. Ronnie Radke and Falling in Reverse are a fantastic band. If you're not listening to them, chances are you are, because they're super popular. They're assigned to Epitaph. They have a new single, Carry On. They have Popular Monster is a phenomenal song, probably one of their biggest songs. And we have a clip from Popular Monster right here.
Question still remains, is this post-traumatic stressing or am I suppressing rage? And my doctor tries to tell me that I'm going through a phase. Yeah, it's not a fucking phase, I just wanna feel okay. Okay, yeah, I struggle with this bullshit every day. And it's probably cause my demons simultaneously rage. Did a bleed alright,
That was Popular Monster, Ronnie Radke. Let's bring him in now, singer and gamer, if you will, because he streams quite a bit, more than you might even know. Hey, Ronnie, how you doing, man?
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Thanks for being here today. I don't know how busy your schedule is nowadays with streaming and stuff like that. I mean, I know you're not touring. I mean, I don't really know if anyone's
Totally.
touring.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I know your streaming life has been picking up quite significantly. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I enjoy it though. I feel like I don't know what I'd be doing. I mean, I still go to the studio. Uh, I have no days off actually. Like I stream Monday, Wednesdays, Friday, and Saturdays, and then Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. I'm literally in the studio.
Jesus.
So it's
And
wild. I
yeah,
wouldn't want it any other way though.
but then when you add touring back into that, that'll be an interesting schedule you'll be keeping. You'll sure as hell have no days off then, right?
Oh, you should see my touring streaming setup. It's literally the same exact thing, but everything's on wheels.
Nice.
Well, let's
Crazy, yeah.
educate everyone, man, on the band, man. The band is fantastic. You guys have such range. So, I mean, let's start with the basics, right? So, how did Falling in Reverse come to be? You formed in 2008. It's just, how did you just all of a sudden say, you know what? This is what I want. These are the bandmates. Let's do this.
I actually that's like a thing that people 2008 wasn't when the band started actually. That's like that's a thing on the internet that it actually started when I got out of prison. Like I was talking to my friends
Right.
in prison, but none of those people were actually in the band. I think internet blew it out of proportion, which is cool. It started around 2010ish, 2011. Yeah, so yeah, just started from there, and I wrote all the songs on my first album actually in jail, like with my hands like on my knees like this,
No kidding.
like you know what I mean. And people are like, "How?" And I'm like, "Well, I just kind of sang the guitars, for the." And then when I went into the studio, my producer was like, "You have anything?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." And I remember I'm singing him the songs. He's like, this is wonderful." He's freaking out because it was like unorthodox to do something like that, and like the rest is history. That album just went gold. Actually, it just went gold.
Congrats,
I
man.
just got a plaque last week for it, so it's pretty cool.
Very cool. Congrats.
Awesome. And then you recently released the track Carry On, which was supposed to be on that album Coming Home. Why did it end up not on the album? And then what was your inspiration for that song?
I just thought it wasn't good enough. I was like, this is not good enough. And then obviously my fans are always like really nice about it. They're like, what are you talking about? This should have been the biggest song on your album, But I just didn't think it was good enough. But my fans really liked it, and the song's just a departure. Like the whole album was kind of like this spacey vibe of like leaving Earth and viewing everything from space, like backwards. You know what I mean? Like viewing your life from like a far away distance and coming back to like your roots and all that stuff. So that was just like kind of cohesive with the rest of the album. It just didn't make it because I thought the other songs were better.
So one of the things that we try to do is really, your album went gold, and so people know of you. So that's actually fantastic. But there's some people that obviously don't, right? And that's kind of what we want to do is kind of shine a light on why. I mean, for example, I'm a fan. I think Falling in Reverse is fantastic. You guys put out just great stuff, album after
Thank you,
album.
man. Thanks.
You're consistent, man, which is not easy. You know.
Yeah.
So let's say I was new, I'm a new fan, or I'm interested, where would you say a good jumping on point is, right? Like, what is the album or song that really captures Falling in Reverse's talent range? I mean, you have Popular Monster, you have Losing My Life, you have that The Drug in Me Is You and stuff like that. But what do you think would be yes, this absolutely is
Definitely,
Falling in Reverse?
definitely Popular Monster because it's literally just everything together. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's almost like the craft has been mastered to that point. So like that's what I'm most proud of. And it's the newest, so you're gonna be the most proud of it. But it really is the biggest song I've ever done. Uh and the songs before that, Drugs and Losing My Life and Losing My Mind, those songs as well. I'd want a new listener to start out at because it's what I'm most proud of. But I was told it's really hard to do, like, because I've had a lot of successful songs and albums, but never to this magnitude that Popular Monster did. And my managers and my label is like, it's unheard of to go 15 years into your career and do pretty good and then release a song 15 years into your career that does exceptionally better than everything else you've ever done. It's like,
Right.
so like it's something to be said. It makes me super happy, So everything I do now, I really, really think about what I'm doing when I write it, and I don't just put something out because I feel like I have to. If it's not good enough, or if I have an inkling that it could be better, then I won't put it out unless it's like fantastic, So
No, makes sense. I mean, Popular Monster has amazing legs. I mean, it's like it's
thank
turned
you.
into like this like theme song years later still where everyone just
Right,
not get you can't get enough of it, right?
right.
It's
I
kind of like that
blows my
addiction.
mind.
Yeah, it's I think it's great. Good for you, man.
Thank you.
One thing Falling in Reverse does too that as a fan that I kind of recognize seeing from song to song, from album to album, is your range is rare because you really can't be stylized, right? It's like, okay, you have, electronic music thrown in there, you have some hardcore, you have some punk, you have some metalcore, you have some pop choruses, right? It's like it's this perfect blend.
Yeah,
Was this like you're doing because you're influenced by so many different types of music, or it just happened
100%.
by accident?
Well, when I was growing up, I just remember liking punk, Bad Religion, Blink 182, and those and Eminem, Dr. Dre, The Chronic. The Chronic album literally changed my life. I was in like second or third grade when that album came out, and I wasn't supposed to listen to it because it was so bad, like too young. Like a young white kid listening to that, it's like the cursing and like the drug talk, like it was just bad. But that changed my life. So I just came from a background of like liking everything, and I remember going to school and realizing that most people aren't like that. They like jump to one thing, and like they're on this side and then you're on this side. And I just
Mm,
was so confused by that, like I remember people being like, you like Blink 182? How can you like Bad Religion? You're a poser. You can't like Bad Religion and Blink 182. That's like you're not a real punk. You know what I mean? I just didn't
yep.
understand that concept. So like I guess that goes to show with my music, like how it translated. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know what to do. I was like, I love all of this. Let's try to put all of this together.
Nice. I'm actually a fellow streamer, so we're gonna switch over to some gaming talk.
Right
Uh,
on.
I tuned into your stuff. Amazing. Your animations, your sub animations. You're very
Thank you.
engaging with your viewers and stuff. When
Thank
did you
you.
kind of like get started into streaming? Like, were there any inspirations that got you into it? Because, like I said, or what I'm about to tell you is like a lot of celebrities jump on streaming. You're
Uh-huh.
easily one of the top 5 in terms of quality. You
Thank
understand it.
you.
You're
Wow.
organic. So, very impressed with how you stream. What kind of got you into that? Like, did you have some downtime? Like, it's time to do this. Did you always want to do it? And who
Oh,
kind of
I
got
play
you
video
inspired?
games. I play video games my whole life. Like I literally play. I know like musicians are like I played video games my whole. They always say that when they jump in the
Yeah.
stream. No, literally, I wrote a song called "The Guillotine" in 2005. It's one of my biggest songs in my band, Escape the Fate, the band that got me popular from the beginning. It's a band called Escape the Fate, and there's a song called "The Guillotine." It's literally about Halo 2. It's literally, if you read the lyrics, it's literally like Spartan stand alone. We fight in lockout. Like I've just been a big fan of video games. So like I've been playing video games and my friends are like, bro, you should stream. I was like, nobody wants to watch me stream. And they're like, nah, bro, you are like you're perfect for it. So I was like, let's try it. And then I just saw this huge reaction, like of I've been doing it for like a year, like I'd say about a year, and I just saw this overwhelming reaction with subscribers and gifted subs, and I was like straight blown away. And then like someone like sent me a screenshot, like, bro, you're like number 5 on the top subscribers. I was like, what do you mean? I got an average viewership like 1,200.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, it just blew my mind, honestly. So yeah.
So very cool then. So yeah, I see you do like green screen backgrounds with Super Smash Brothers. Are you a big fan?
Yeah, well, I mean, like back like N64 and GameCube. Yeah,
Yeah.
like back in the day.
They've
Wait,
gotten
not
crazier. It's
N64.
hard to keep up now. And then
Right.
Call of Duty seems to be your main game. Any particular reason why? And like, just tell us about like streaming in general, why you enjoy it. And then again, how did you get so good at doing it? Like I said, are you making these animations yourself as an
Uh,
artist, or are you having a lot of friends helping out?
I have one stream manager, and he's really good behind the scenes. And he just like I give him my ideas, and then he just runs with them. And we try to like make it funny and like not too serious, But yeah, I was like, yeah, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it like a lead singer's gonna do it, man. I'm gonna make it like like ridiculously over the top. I'm
Yeah.
standing in a scene, and then like you know, my head turns into a potato or something, you know, like stuff like that. But yeah, I just always liked video games. Like it's always been a thing. I've played video games, and when I say I always like it, like when I'm not recording music, I'm not kidding. I'm literally playing video games, literally like all day, like
Nice.
8 hours a day. You
Well,
know,
it makes streaming even easier then.
what really bothers me is that Warzone is so hard after how long I've been playing Call of Duty. It's hard. It's like very sweaty. It's like a hard game. And I like it, but at the same time, I'm like, how is everybody so insanely good at this? Am I missing something here? What's going on? So
They're giving it like 16 hours a day in a lot of cases. That's probably
right.
why. You know,
Yeah.
you have other things to probably do in addition to playing a game.
Right. I do actually. Yeah.
You know, so what a couple of things, you know, before we move on and close this out, it was actually funny because I actually followed you from back in the day on Escape the Fate, you know,
Yeah.
so I'm familiar with your days in that band and because I grew up on Vans Warped Tour and stuff like that. So, I mean,
That's
I
cool,
kind of
man.
just, I'm from Florida, so I did the whole surfing scene and I was in
Yeah.
Pennywise, Bad Religion, I mean,
Yeah.
Guttermouth, you know, Jughead's
Yeah.
Revenge. And so, very, very true to what you say, to where it's like, okay, Blink 182 fans didn't like Bad Religion, and Bad Religion. Oh my God, that was like a huge no-no, you know.
Right. Right.
So I didn't even think of that until you mentioned that. And another memory you brought back to me was Guillotine. It's like, holy hell! Now I'm gonna go back to listen to this. I
Read
didn't
the
know it was
lyrics,
about-
bro.
I didn't know,
Read
man.
the lyrics, bro. You'll be like, what the? It's crazy. Yeah.
You don't think of stuff like that at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
The,
I
the
was just
core,
like, oh, this is a badass song. You
the
know?
chorus says we, like the first word is we stay here tonight, and that was literally co-op. It was we as in me and someone else, as in like co-op. When
Yeah.
you read the lyrics, you'd be like, holy hell, this makes a lot of sense, you know. So
No shit, that's funny. But last but not least, then, man, what's next? You know, I mean, obviously we're stuck with COVID restrictions and stuff like that. So what's next for Falling in Reverse? You know, album, songs. I mean, I would say tour, but that's obviously a 2021 thing, possibly. You know, all that
right.
stuff. What do you have in mind for you and the band?
I'm gonna do a live show on Twitch. The only reason I haven't done one is because I like to go watch other bands do it, and I just like want to like do it differently, not do like the same thing, or like make sure that it's like, well, if they're doing that, I want to do it huge. So I'm just taking the time to get the quality, the sound quality. It has to
Right.
be flawless. You know what I mean? Like you're at a live show, not like you're in a room and you can kind of hear it that it's in a room. It needs to be like, wow, this sounds like they're in an arena right now or something.
Right.
So we're kind of like taking that into consideration right now.
Yeah, well, very cool.
Yeah.
I know we worked with Trivium not too much because we book a lot of bands for our events, and Trivium just did a live show not too long ago too at
Yeah.
Full Sail right in their area.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, honestly, thanks for being here today. I mean, we'd love to have you back in other gaming shows that we're creating and where, you know, gaming, we do competitions, all that stuff. And then when events do come back, since we book live bands, we'd love to have you, man. And, you
Dude,
know,
that'd be
kinda
great.
that'd be fantastic.
And if you
So,
need me to carry you in Warzone, just ask.
Are you how old are
I'm
you?
pretty good.
How old are you?
How old?
Yeah.
I'm 37.
So your reaction time has slowed down a little bit.
No, I'm a fighting game player, actually, Street Fighter professional. So my
I'm
reaction time's
joking.
still
I'm
top-notch.
36, bro. I'm joking. I'm
Yeah.
joking.
No worries. I actually like multiplayer more because it's less stressful. So
Dude, I would love to play. Honestly, like I would love to play. So send me your Activision thing, and I'll literally jump on.
you
yeah, I
got
mean,
it.
honestly, he's just slower in general, man. So it's just as long as you're cool with that, man, you'll be good. You know.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for the time today, Ronnie, man. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure always. Keep up the great
Appreciate
work.
you guys. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good day.
See you guys.
See ya. Up next, we have TMYK, The More You Know, where we try to educate you on various things. We try our very best. And this actually edition of TMYK is speedrunning. And Alex, you actually have a buddy you invited to the show. I mean, I don't know whether I'm more surprised of his ability in speedrunning or more surprised that you actually have a friend. Tell us about him.
Thanks, buddy. And why do you have 3 dogs again? So yeah, this is my good friend Trihex. We've been friends for years, actually. He's also a fellow global Twitch emote. Try hard. Very excited about that. But yeah, he was probably the first thing that comes to mind when I think about speedrunning over the years. There's so many great speedrunners, but he's one of the best. He does one of my favorite games, Yoshi's Island, Super Mario World 2. And we have him on the show today. Welcome, Trihex.
Oh, thanks for having me, everybody.
Yeah, how's the pandemic treating you as a speedrunner?
Time is going fast and slow at the same time. Like, I can't believe it's already August, but I also can't believe that, the pandemic only started in, or I guess only became pandemic level in USA in March. So it's going, man. I've been working out a lot. That's the one thing I can say. I lucked out and I just happened to buy some a home workout cage back in November. Not for this reason. I was preparing. I just happened to like say, you know what? I want to be able to work out on stream soon for like sub goals and stuff like that. So I got the home cage and man, I hit the lottery with that guess, huh?
Nice.
Future BPM segment for him and I, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, the first question, right? Like I said, you're known most for Yoshi's Island. Sorry, guys. Yoshi's Island. Tell us why that was your main game, and what other games are your favorite to speedrun?
Yeah, so I got into Yoshi's Island. Honestly, it's as simple as it just happened to be the game I was playing when I discovered what speedrunning was, or that it was a thing. The whole idea of playing through a game multiple times, not just because you love it, because you can give it like a productive purpose, like beating it faster, getting better at it, learning all of the intricacies of that particular game. All of that, I just happened to find out about that community and that hobby when I was playing Yoshi's Island, particularly on the Game Boy Advance port back in 2003. See, actually, I'm very, very old school. I was into speedrunning back in like, one of the earlier speedrunners as far as back as 2004. So yeah, I was in speedrunning long before streaming gave speedrunning a avenue of recognition like it has now. As for other games that I played besides Yoshi's Island, or I guess like why it's so good really is more like a lot of games like OOT or Mario 64 and Super Mario World. All these games have actually a very high skill cap ceiling because there's a lot of expression you can do within the game. Usually, the problem with like a lot of modern speedrun games is that they typically have a very linear way of like playing the game. There's just one way, and typically it's like glitch out of bounds in order to like be fast. Whereas like a lot of these like older games now have like you can kind of, in some cases you can tell what player is actually speedrunning the game based off of the gameplay footage alone. It's actually really, really crazy. So the deeper you dive into it, the more you can learn about it actually.
Right. So, geez, 17 plus years of speedrunning experience for you. What was probably your favorite run ever? I'm sure you've continually broken records, but like, what's your most memorable one, and like what year, and where can people look that up?
Dang. Okay. All right. That is a lot to narrow down. I tell you, but thankfully I have the answer for you. That would be Summer Games Done Quick 2015. I after having done 3 to 4 speed runs prior for GDQ series for Yoshi's Island, I got to the point where they offered me to be the opening act. I was the first run. I was numero uno, and I wanted to go all out. So I made sure to do the hardest trick in Yoshi's Island, which is like this insane. There's like this auto scroller that happens about 2 hours to the run. The run's about 2.5 hours long. So like in World 5, there's this like super sick auto scroller skip where you're supposed to like ride this platform that moves very, very slow while you throw a crap ton of enemies at you on a very controlled pace. But you can jump off the platform, be above nothing but a death plane for a solid 90 seconds, and use the enemies that are intended to be killed to hop and bounce off of them while over nothing for a full 90 seconds. It's called the 5-4 skip, and I nailed it. I nailed it in the run. That was like, I mean, dude, that was insane to get on that crowd first try, lots of pressure, and I did it, and it was like mega sick. So if you go back to Summer Games 2015, Yoshi's Island speed run by Trihex, you can check out the glory there and see it yourself on YouTube.
Nice.
So in your spare time, it's like one of those things where whenever there's a competitive element to anything, right? Sports, whether it's going against someone, that kind of competitive element, you're looking up tactics, you're looking up tricks, right? So you're watching other people do things that you do in your same space to kind of learn and adapt, or just for sheer entertainment base. So who do you watch? Like, what speedrunners would you watch?
Ooh, that's a good question. I typically okay, all right, like no cap here. I actually probably watch a lot more Smash than I watch speedruns these days because I find speedrunning like easier to understand. Like, okay, it's you competing against yourself. Like it's not really like it's not like you got directly bested by an opponent intimately. Comparatively, when I'm watching like PvP games like Smash Brothers, I find handling losing in Smash a lot harder than like losing a record in speedrunning. I can always because it's a linear thing of like just grind the ideas, observe the footage, and kind of go from there. I find it easier to separate my ego in that regard. What I usually will watch, if I had to give you an answer though, mm, uh, I don't know if I have a good answer actually. I honestly I think I watch a lot of Smash Brothers. I watch a lot of like Tetris 99 players because they are insane. I watch the things I'm bad at, honestly, if I'm being real here, more than rather than I'm good at. I think I'm wonderfully average at Smash. So I watch a lot of it to get better. I think I'm terrible at Tetris. That is not a chill game, by the way. I hate to derail here a little bit, but like that is like as a speedrunner, I'm just like I'm so desperate to be like optimal and good at Tetris, and I can barely do T spins. I can't even think 6 turns in the future for T99. So it's just like I watch a lot of that actually. Wumbo is a beast. So kind of a derail answer for you, but yeah, I typically watch things I'm bad at,
Well,
which
next
is a real
question.
speedrunner mentality.
Yeah. So next question then. When you first started speedrunning, right before GDQ was, I don't know the first year off the top of my head, but did you ever think it would be as big and like the charities that they put together and just how big the community is? And from that point, like what is like a website people go to learn? Because when I started looking up speedrunning after I got interested, there's so much information out there. Like what would you recommend to somebody?
So part one, did I think speedrunning would ever get to where it is now, as far as like the recognition and where you have these charity mega drives now and all that? Way back when, no, honestly. If we're going back here on the speedrun lore, Yoshi's Island specifically, there was no community. It was me. I was the lone runner in 2004, and there was no other community. There was no other runners who even ran the game to compare to my runs to or my strats to. Like all the innovations I did in 05 and 06 and 07 were all like me solo, just grinding out because I love the game. It wasn't until like streaming became like mainstream by 2011 that I finally had other runners to compare my strats to, for example. So yeah, I never thought it would get to where it is now. And then which is awesome, which is sick. That's great, And I think speedrunning now is so much more accessible than it was then as well, because honestly, until 2012, there was this like really obnoxious problem of like language barrier. Like we English speaking community, we knew that there were Japanese speedrunners. We would see their runs randomly on various sites, Nico Nico, wherever. But we had no way to like confirm like what rules they used, or did they allow turbo controllers, and we just didn't know anything. So there was this big language barrier that kind of got conquered finally when we had everybody streaming together. So that's for example right there. But as far as like resources go now it's like it's so much more accessible. Back then it was kind of the wild west. Now you can go to speedrun.com, for example. You can type in any game that you're interested in speedrunning, go to speedrun.com, find its leaderboard, and typically it'll also be an accompanying community wiki page to break down all the tricks, right? Because if you go to Mega Man, you find out there's like this, how's this record so fast? How are they getting out of this? How are they beating the level in like 5 minutes flat or whatever? You're just like, oh, you got a double back boost. And it's like, well, what's that? And it's like, or, some crazy name for a trick, right? And that's when you would go to the community wiki and you would see like, oh, double back boost is whenever you or whatever, right? So you have your community wikis, you have your resource guides. People will often just put like a big Google Doc full of like how, because honestly, the other problem people have here, I'm sorry, I'm derailing a lot. The problem people have here is that like,
More keep going.
You see a run and it's world record, and you're like, okay, this contains a lot of advanced tricks. I'm a day one rookie. I can't do all this stuff. And that's a very valid concern, because people will try to do like world record strats on day one, which is like trying to like shove like a boulder through a golf ball size hole, right? You're just like, you're overwhelmed with the tech skill and you're just getting dumpstered left and right. So someone will make a resource guide explaining here, beginner, intermediate, and advanced routes. That way you can, essentially going from glitchless to probably where it's a little more technical ultimately, which is really good, because like I think ultimately having accessibility be your top priority as a game community, specifically ones like Mario Odyssey or ones like Ocarina of Time, when you make accessibility a priority here, you're growing your base of like, active runners. And the more active runners there are, the more likely discovery will occur. Like there's a reason why typically what happens here whenever these like major breakthroughs come out with speedrunning and like the game gets faster or whatever, right? Like how Mario Odyssey broke the 1 hour barrier finally for any percent. That was a big 1 year plus achievement there. That happens because the community is very, very active. And what was once a useless glitch or trivial, obscure trick was found to have a function and purpose under a certain scenario. Sure, you can get out of bounds, but you're stuck out of bounds and you just die, right? But with enough people playing the game, enough experimentation, enough people together looking at that one idea or that one problem trying to solve it, eventually, oh no, you get out of bounds and you walk around the corner, you dodge the death plane all out of bounds, and then you do like a double wall kick backflip back into bounds, and you skip the whole middle boss or whatever, hypothetically here. And
So,
that's what happens over and over again.
so
Yeah.
Make the
question
game
really
faster.
more geared towards you. I'm going to do a vertical on kind of one of the questions I was going to ask is I'm actually more interested in like how did you become from where you started to where you are now? What have you learned in the kind of the years of doing it? Like basically how your path is kind of paved that way. Like what would the you now not do that you did years ago when you kind of entered this space?
Well, thank you. That's actually a really good question. So in the beginning, I was a speedrunner, right? So in a speedrunner mentality, it's kind of like in a vacuum, you think, okay, well, I'm only as good as my best time. You know, if the game I play is primarily Yoshi's Island and I'm only like, number 8 on the top 100 leaderboard, I'm not good. You know, I want to be number 1. I want to be top 3. I want to be able to say I'm on world record pace. You're right, because that's like the whole thing. You're pushing yourself to the absolute limit, yada yada yada. And so I would be fixated on my results and generally nothing else, which was like an issue for a very long time. So I had like it got into a toxic mindset. I would have like insecurity issues. I would think I don't deserve to play the new Mario Party. I don't deserve to play X game or have a break because I'm not world record champ yet at the game I put the most time into. That was a problem for a very, very long time. But at the same time, though, what I've learned since then is that like you can be the best, but ultimately, if no one understands why you're the best or understands why what you do is impressive or technical or like a spectacle, then there will be a loss in communication. So since then, I've done a lot to try to bridge the understanding here and build up my commentary. The reason why, for example, that y'all in general may enjoy the Games Done Quick series or just any kind of like speed run spectacle event is that like it's the commentary. You know, you can do a sick frame perfect trick, but can you explain to those who are uninitiated what the trick is doing, how you're doing it, and all that? Because in reality, here, if you think of it like kind of like a movie, all the speedrunners are nailing every trick because they're very well practiced, right? So there's no conflict. Everything's already understood, and generally, like if they plan it well, they're gonna do a marathon safe strat and never really actually engage in conflict. They're gonna dodge all of it. It'll be this linear. Oh, the protagonist dodged this and does this and hits this, and it's like it's kind of boring, honestly.
Mhm.
But the commentary demonstrates and explains the stakes at hand here, which helps you understand the whole situation in its entire context.
Yeah. So, geez, man, yeah, you're telling us a lot. So take all that stuff because, like, me, I'm obsessed with running events. You're obsessed with speed running. What do you do in your free time? I know you've always been a health nut ever since we first met. Like,
Hey.
does speed running take over your life? Because you also consistently stream every day. So, what do you like to do when you're not on stream, when you're working out, in your own time? What makes you tick besides the speed running?
What's my flex allowance? Can I just do that
You
real
got
quick?
2 minutes.
Sure. All right. No, working out is definitely probably my biggest priority in the day now. I look at it like streaming, which is essentially binge gaming formalized, right? I'm sitting in this chair 8 hours a day. I find that to live that sedentary lifestyle, I have to justify that with the opposite extreme of compensating for what that does to my health. So yeah, I work out 5 days a week. I want to look the part. I do believe that being if you want to be the best gamer you can, or really if you want to achieve your fullest potential here, you want to be physically fit because that'll reflect being mentally fit. Because I think being physically fit, this 100% does require self-discipline. And if you have self-discipline to like push yourself to, stay dedicated to a goal, like being physically fit or working out, you're already over halfway there. You're like, because if you have that, you can because once you have self-discipline, you can apply that into everything else, right? And it all just kind of falls into play here.
That
Most
actually
people
leads
will
us
just
to
like make up excuses or rewrite history. Oh, I was already almost late, so I'm just not gonna go today, or they'll just whatever, right? we all do this into a bunch of things here.
That
So
actually is
whenever I'm not speed running, I definitely work out. For example, here I nowadays I wake up at 6 a.m. I'm in gym by 7 and I'm done by 9. Just because, like, by getting it done early, excuse proof. I can't lie to myself. I can't say that, oh, I'm running late, so I'm just gonna to street the stream on time. I'm just gonna go ahead and skip gym. I do that. I used to do that all the time. I used to be a serial excuse
Skipper.
BSer to myself there.
Well, some of this actually segues good into the closing question. So really quick, really brief. Let's close this out with words of advice, right? So for people looking into the speedrunning scene, what one sentence can you give them in terms of whether it's self-discipline, practice, practice, practice? What one kind of words of wisdom sentence can you give them looking into breaking in and trying to make a name for themselves and kind of climb those ranks?
Ooh, okay. One sentence.
Oh, it can be two. You can cheat a little bit.
Speed run the game you like. Don't speed run for clout and trying to impress other people. Do it because you actually enjoy it. So, like, ultimately, the rule here I would say is that you speed run a game that you would speed run by yourself offline and enjoy as much in the same amount as you would to an audience online. Because if you can do that, you're already there. You're ready for every challenge because you love the game. If you've beaten Final Fantasy VII a billion times as a child, that means you already love that game. So why not take that obsession, that admiration for that game, and dive in deeper?
Cool.
How many quirky, awkward things? How does the battle mechanics work? How does all that work? And you just
Right.
you go all the way in there.
Well, awesome. No, I
Awesome.
appreciate your time, man. I mean, this has been great. I mean, it's nice to know where you started and how you actually became what you did, what you are now. It's nice to know that Alex actually has friends. So, I mean, either way, man, I appreciate your time. This has been Trihex. Thank you for coming. This has been The More You Know, and have a good day, man. I appreciate it.
Thank y'all. Much love.
Up next, BPM, where Alex and I try to either fight over who has more healthy knowledge or at least educate you on some. Alex does his best to keep up. The little guy really is like that little engine that could. I have faith in him one day, but we'll get there.
Yeah, no,
Alex, what you got for us on BPM this week, man?
Yeah, this week. So I've actually been bumping up my cardio again. I could care less about arms and gains anymore. I just want my cardiovascular stamina to come back and stuff, just so I can survive any events as we get back to them, hopefully soon. But with Tifa, it's been a learning experience getting on a consistent schedule. And so now I've discovered that she's always full of energy, but to get that down before I go off and leave the house, so it helps with the separation anxiety, I've been doing either jogging, or I've discovered I don't even have to leave my living room. I just have her run back and forth on the couch, playing with her and teaching her new tricks. And that's been also my warm up, getting my heart rate up before I head off to the gym. And she's awesome about it. So this week I just record what I would usually do in the mornings now. This is probably like 6:30 a.m. Before I want to head off to the gym. And it's awesome because she actually knows when I'm filming. She kind of gets camera shy, so I kind of got to leave it and not let her know I'm recording or anything. But she's a beautiful dog, man. It's changed my life, and just she's now my warm up before I head off to the gym. And then now my cool down is playing DDR, which she's deathly afraid of. The moment the lights go on, she runs out of the room.
So why is it seems like every workout partner you've had or I've known and talked to looks healthier and is more energetic and cuter than you?
Come on. Because it's the corona, man. I haven't been able to eat healthy and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm just afraid to go out.
I mean,
But
is it on purpose? Is it like you need a partner to motivate you so everyone looks healthier and cuter than you in terms of that?
Dog is actually motivating me. You're actually absolutely right. But any bit helps, but just being consistent. I always tell friends, like, what do I do? How do I start working out? I'm like, just get your heart rate up and figure something out fun that's consistent for you and stick to it. And now she holds me accountable.
Well, I'm glad you gave up the chase of the arm competition because you're not going to beat me. I'm too far ahead, unless, of course, I hurt myself anytime soon. But then I'm sure you'll jump back into that to try to take advantage of my pain. So I appreciate your BPM knowledge today. Would you have a final thought for us?
A big topic in the gaming world this week was Joe Rogan. Everyone knows him. He commentates UFC, has a huge podcast. Was talking about how video games can be a waste of time. You spend 3 years learning playing games when you could have spent 3 years learning a craft and creating a business. But end of the day, it's a hobby, right? Why do people go outside to play basketball? Why do they, collect stamps, all that stuff? And video games, I think, is one of the greatest ways to entertain yourself, connect with other people, especially now when you can't really leave your house and do the things we're used to. So I think bah humbug to Joe Rogan. You know, he knows how to get people on his podcast and watch, but he made a valid point. You know, you could be doing other stuff, but man, I wouldn't change all the hours I spent in gaming for the world. So just keep doing what you enjoy, guys. And if that involves gaming for 10 hours a day, don't let anybody stop you. Just remember to drink water and, you know, go use the bathroom and stuff. And that about wraps up our season 1 of DreamHack tonight. Thank you so much, everyone that's watched it over the season. I've had a lot of fun doing it with Justin, as much as we like to rag on each other. But thank you so much if you watched either just this episode or all 6 of them. It really means a lot to us. So be sure to continue to like and subscribe us on YouTube. Throw us tweets. Let us know what else you'd like to see when we come back. Definitely for season 2, right, Justin?
Oh, absolutely. And thank you to our sponsors for season 1. Blue Microphone, Simply Nook, Razer, Astro. You guys have all been great. Products, all these various things, prize giveaways, all these things for all our different episodes throughout this first season. And yes, season 2, bigger, better. This was just our way of going, hey, DreamHack's going to come at you with more content, other vertical ways of approaching gaming, whether it's the indie space and other entertainment space, such as music and film. I mean, gamers do more than just game, right? So let's just showcase some of the music that you should be listening to and the films that you should be paying attention to and all these kind of things. So back in season 2, bigger, better. Look for us probably around mid-September, but we'll definitely be back.